Okay, this is the first part of my tutorial on how to create a name splitter. Now, by name splitter I mean I'm going to take a full name in one HTML text box. The user is going to press a button and it's going to be split into two text boxes rather. So I'm going to start by creating my HTML page. I'm going to create a form, and the action is going to be itself, so I've called this name splitter.php, and the method is going to be get for now, so I can see what's going on. Okay, now let's create our input boxes. We need to do input type equals text, and the name of that is going to be full name, and we'll create a button just next to it. That's a submit, and the value can be split. Okay, so if we check everything's right, we can open our page, and we've got this. Okay, so we can type our name in here. That's my name. Click split. Nothing happens at the moment except our full name variable has been transferred here. Okay, now what we can do is start working on our PHP and make sure we can get our variable to be brought into our PHP. So for this I'm going to say full name equals, remember the get variable, and that's full name, and then I'm just going to echo this out to make sure it's coming through okay. Should always test these things. So split, and there you go, that's been echoed out. Okay, so now we can start the splitting process here. The first thing I want to do is create a if statement to say if the full name has been typed in, and then here I'm going to say otherwise echo please type a name. Okay, so if nothing's typed in, then the output will be please type a name. I'm going to start commenting. Quite useful to read back to yourself if you know that. Now I'm going to use a built-in function of PHP called strlen, which stands for string length. I'm going to create that in a variable called this, and that is going to equal the string length of my full name. Okay, so that will equal, if I just echo this out, I can stick an echo in front of there, and let's type Alex in there, and that's 12 characters, which is correct, including the space in the middle of my name. So we don't need the echo on there anymore. Instead, what we want to do is we're going to create a for loop. So I'm going to say start loop to check for spaces. Now the idea of this is we're going to check for spaces in our full name. When we find, we're going to store each character up until the space into a variable called first name. Once a space has been detected, we're going to store everything else in the full name variable in another variable called last name. So you're basically checking each character. Now to do this, the best thing is a for loop, and I'm going to create a variable called x, and that is going to be equal to 0 to the start, because the string length does count from 0, as do arrays, things like that. And I'm going to say until x is while x is smaller than or equal to 10. Sorry, not 10, my full name length, which is len. And then obviously I'm going to say x++ because it's going to increment 1 each time. So there's my block. Okay, another function is mb substring. So this is going to take a specific character within. You can specify where it starts and the length of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if, and this is going to be an if statement to check if I have a space in my name, which I presume I do. So I'm going to say mb substring, and I'm going to say the variable I want to apply this to is full name. I want to check in full name. I want to look at position x because we're looping through the length of until the length of the end. So it will go 1, 2, 3 up until 12. Or sorry, it will go 0, 1, 2, 3 up until 12. And I want this to be 1 character long. So essentially all this is doing, I'll show you. I'm just going to create the if block there. Just inside this for, I'm going to say echo, and I'm going to echo out x. Sorry, no, I'm going to echo out. I'm going to echo out. What am I going to echo out? I'm going to have to echo out. In fact, no. This is what I'm going to do. Let's scrap this if statement for now, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so we're going to echo out this instead. Now what this will basically do is just reprint my full name, because it's echoing this position, so it will echo A, lasting 1 character. If this was 2, it would echo AL. If this was 3, it would echo ALE. Okay, so I just want it to last for 1 character. So by echoing this inside this loop for the length of my name, we should get my full name out. So let's type in Alex again, split, and there we go, we get my full name. Now just to give you a picture of this, we could say echo that, and then we could add on to the end a break, and then if we split this again, we'd get it on every single line. So you can see that it is splitting it into each character. Okay, so to add this into an if statement, we need to say if this doesn't equal a space, then we execute some code, and that will be first name equals first name and concatenate the value of this here, the value of the letter that is currently being analysed. So my first name will equal this up until a space is found, okay? And we need to say otherwise, we need to store it in a last name variable. So we need to say last name equals last name, and we need to say that again. Okay, so really what we're doing is, just to recap, before this part of the tutorial ends, we're saying if the string value, so say if A, L, E, X, space, G, A, R, if any of them equal a space, don't equal a space, remember isn't equal to a space, then we're going to apply that into here. And then after a space has been detected, we're going to start storing in the last name, because you have a space between your name. So this isn't entirely complete. I'm going to leave this for the second part of the tutorial, but if you've typed this out already, give it a run, see how it comes out. To get your variables out, what you'll need to do is down here say echo first name, and then to prove that it's on a new in a new variable, we can say last name as well, so that will echo out on each line, which we wouldn't have been able to do previously. So I'll give this a run. I'll type Alex, I'll split that, and you can see that in fact it hasn't worked at all. So in the next part of the tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create this flawlessly so it does actually work and it does actually split your name. But for now, we've got the fundamental functions in here, well, not created functions, but we've got the fundamental code in here that has taken the logic to split our name. Okay, join me in the second part of this tutorial to find out how to get your program up and running. Thanks for watching.